Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about Liu Cixin, Nobel laureate, and his most famous long novel, Three-Body Problem. The story of Three-Body follows the journey of the protagonist, Wang Miao. The first mystery he faces is the mystery of suicide. Several members of the international academic organization Science Boundary have been killed. Invited by the military, Wang Miao takes on the mission of finding out the truth. He finds Ding Yi, the fiancé of the suicidal physicist Yang Dong, and learns that Yang Dong's suicide may have been due to the despair caused by the failure of the particle collision experiment. The next day, after learning about Yang Dong's cause of death, a mysterious set of numbers suddenly appear in Wang Miao's eyes and won't go away. This is the second clue, the ghost countdown, that he faces. After seeking help from Science Boundary member Shen Yufei, Wang Miao suspends his nanotechnology project. At the same time, the ghost countdown also mysteriously disappears. After seeing the countdown under the cosmic radiation background, Wang Miao is convinced that some supernatural force is restricting scientific research on Earth. During a visit to Shen Yufei, Wang Miao also notices that the other person is addicted to a game. This is the important tool that the book reveals for understanding the three-body civilization, the three-body game. Wang Miao, wearing a realistic bionic suit, enters the world of the three-body game for the first time. In the freezing desert, Wang Miao sees King Wen of Zhou and a follower and experiences the hellish world of three-body with them. What surprises him most is the three-body's skill of dehydration. In the constantly changing extreme cold and heat, the three-body people turn into a skin to avoid disaster by dehydration. As civilization number 137 is destroyed in the cold, Wang Miao exits the three-body game. Sweating from the game, he visits the deceased scientist Yang Dong's mother. Yes, it's him, the real protagonist of Part 1, Yi Wenjie. Through the narration of his student Sha Ruishan to Wang Miao, Yi Wenjie's life story slowly unfolds. In 1967, Yi Wenjie witnessed his father, who insisted on science, being beaten to death with armed belts by 4 female middle school students on the charge of being a reactionary academic authority. At that moment, endless grief flowed into his blood. 2 years later, in the Great Xing'an Mountains, more than 100,000 construction troops poured all their homeless youthful passion into destroying the natural environment. They turned the seaside into barren mountains, plowed the grasslands into fertile fields, and then turned them into deserts. In this wave of deforestation, Yi Wenjie hijacked the progressive-thinking journalist Bai Mulan. He lent Yi Wenjie a progressive book and asked Yi Wenjie to write a letter of advice for him. Unexpectedly, the journalist, who thought he had insight into politics, faced serious consequences. When the superiors investigated, the former confidant pushed all the responsibility onto Yi Wenjie, causing her to be put in detention. In detention, Yi Wenjie also refused to sign a piece of material framing her father. All these experiences deepened Yi Wenjie's understanding of the ugliness of human nature and further strengthened her belief in the hope that an alien civilization would come to Earth to redeem humanity. Yi Wenjie, who woke up from the cold coma, found herself on a helicopter. A graduate student her father once instructed, Yang Weining, rescued her by selecting her to participate in the mysterious Red Coast Plan. But the price of joining the plan is to be confined to the Radar Peak launch base for life, cut off from the world forever. Yi Wenjie, full of despair for human nature, accepted the condition without hesitation and, accompanied by Yang Weining and his superior, Lei Zhengwei, the plane landed on Radar Peak. The memories of Sha Ruishan end here. Wang Miao finally learned that Yi Wenjie, who experienced the loss of her father, wrongful imprisonment, betrayal, and then joined the Red Coast Plan, returned to the university where her father used to teach and taught cosmic physics until she retired in the early 1990s after spending 20 years at the Red Coast base. Now, the old woman has also lost her daughter Yangdong, which is indeed pitiful. This also increases Wang Miao's motivation to explore the mystery of suicide. At this moment, retired soldier Shi Chang, who has been assisting Wang Miao in his investigation, brings some new information that there seem to be some clues hidden in the three-body game. Therefore, Wang Miao embarks on a series of three-body game journeys. On his second visit to the game, Wang Miao first meets Mozi and sees his model of the universe, which imagines the universe as a double-layered sphere surrounded by a sea of fire and uses the rotation of the inner and outer shells and the thermal expansion and contraction to explain the alternation of day and night and the change in the size of the sun. Mozi is very confident in this enigmatic model, and this confidence is accompanied by a giant sun that is burned to ashes by an upgrade. On his third visit to the game, Wang Miao meets a group of human sages and reveals the fundamental cause of the disaster in the three-body world with a new ID as Copernicus. The Three Suns. The galaxy in which the three-body civilization is located has three suns, which move irregularly, sometimes far and sometimes close, creating the hellish three-body world. On his fourth visit to the game, Wang Miao meets Newton, von Neumann, and Qin Shi. Gambling and relying on numbers, they use 30 million soldiers holding black and white flags to simulate the binary operation rules of 0 and 1, forming an impressive human array, and the computer tries to predict the movement patterns of the three suns. As you expected, the attempt failed again with the appearance of 3 consecutive days in the sky. In the fifth game, the ultimate master Einstein used the failure results of various algorithms to confirm that the motion laws of the three suns have no solution. The only way out for the three-body civilization is to fly into the universe and look for a new home. Wang Miao's journey of the three-body game has come to an end for now. In the real world during this period, a murder case occurred. Shen Yufei, who helped Wang Miao eliminate ghosts, was shot to death, and the suspect was probably a man named Pan Han. With the doubts of the murder case, Wang Miao received an invitation to attend an offline gathering of three-body players. Unexpectedly, the organizer of the gathering was the suspect in the murder of Shen Yufei, Pan Han. At the meeting, he asked the players whether they supported the arrival of the three-body civilization to replace humans in managing the Earth. The two opponents were permanently deactivated, and Wang Miao, who had not completed his undercover mission, pretended to agree to become a new member of the Earth three-body organization. In his final visit to the three-body game, Wang Miao saw the three-body fleet set off on a journey to a new world. The game is now completed. In the scene, the player is once again invited to attend a three-body organization meeting. At this meeting, Wang Miao was surprised to find that the spiritual leader of the Earth three-body organization was none other than Yi Wenjie. What shocked him even more was that Yi Wenjie publicly ordered the execution of Pan Han, the man who had killed his daughter, and calmly continued to tell the story of Red Coast. During his time working at Red Shore, Yi Wenjie used the sun as an antenna to amplify the transmission power and sent out the first nomination from Earth to space. 8 years later, Yi Wenjie, who had already formed a family with Yang Weining, was shocked to discover a response from outer space repeating the simple message, "Do not reply, do not reply, do not reply." Yi Wenjie did not listen to the warning and replied, "Come here, use your power to save humanity from its evil." This message flew to the nearest constellation to Earth, the Sagittarius constellation. During the narration, an ambassador led a team into the conference room, arrested the three-level organization members, including Yi Wenjie, and brought them back for interrogation. During the interrogation, Yi Wenjie revealed more information, including a murder case. That year at Red Case, Lei Zhenwang discovered evidence of Yi Wenjie's communication with aliens. To cover up this fact, Yi Wenjie coldly sawed the rope while Lei Zhenwang and his husband were inspecting equipment under a cliff, killing them to silence them and causing them to fall to their deaths. The cliff incident was treated as a normal accident. Yi Wenjie, as a widowed spouse, gave birth to Yang Dong. Afterwards, he was able to return to his alma mater to teach, and while responsible for a project to choose the location of a launch base, he met the true leader of the three-body organization, Ivan Wences, in a remote northwest region. This rich second generation, who planted trees in the wilderness for 3 years to protect endangered birds, was unable to stop human destruction of the natural environment despite owning a $450 billion asset multinational company. He also yearned for extraterrestrial civilization to save Earth. One had money, the other had technology. They hit it off and became the founders of the three-body organization. They greeted each other with the three-body organization's greeting, "We are comrades." 3 years later, Yi Wenjie received an invitation to come to the Judgment Day cruise ship on the Atlantic. Based on the cosmic position provided by Yi Wenjie at the time, Ivan Wences built the second Red Shore base here and successfully communicated with the three-body civilization. The first members of the Earth three-body organization here granted Yi Wenjie the highest commander's qualifications and shouted the slogan, "Eliminate human tyranny, the world belongs to the three-body." From now on, the mysterious veil of the Earth three-body organization was fully unveiled. It includes the arrival group that wants to use extraterrestrial power to destroy humanity and the salvation group that worships extraterrestrial civilization as a god, and the survival group that survives by selling their fellow citizens. All of these are inconsistent with Yi Wenjie's ideal of transforming humanity with extraterrestrial civilization. Among them, the three-body game we are familiar with is the cradle of the salvation group, who hope to solve the physical three-body problem to make the three-body world survive and avoid its invasion of the solar system. However, this is contrary to the arrival group's ideal of destroying humanity. It was for this reason that Shen Yufei was killed by Pan Han. Yi Wenjie also mentioned that a large amount of communication from the three-body world is stored on the Judge vessel. In order to obtain information from the three-body world and eliminate the three-body organization led by Ivan Wences, the leaders of the International Alliance determined the Guzheng Plan. They placed nanowires, only 1/10 the thickness of a hair, in advance in a narrow waterway, cutting them into more than 40 pieces when the cruise ship passed through, and also cutting Ivan Wences into 3 pieces. The Guzheng Plan was a complete success. The Alliance finally obtained 28 G of three-body information and decrypted shocking news from it. It turns out that on three-body, an elderly monitor accidentally received the first message from Earth. In order to avoid the inevitable invasion of the three-body fleet, the monitor replied with a short message, "Do not reply." As long as there is no reply, Earth is just a distant direction in the three-body system, but there is no data on the distance. The probability of finding Earth in the vast universe is extremely small. Clearly, this monitor's actions violated the laws of the three-body world. After the message was leaked, the head of the three-body world burned to death more than 6,000 three-body people related to this matter and ordered the three-body fleet to prepare to set sail towards Earth. At this moment, the three-body civilization's research on the microcosmic world far exceeded that of Earth's civilization. They discovered that there are a total of 11 dimensions in the microcosmic world. Using this technological advantage, the three-body created an important weapon against Earth, the proton. They unfolded the proton in the atomic nucleus into a two-dimensional form, carved it into an intelligent computer, and sent it to Earth ahead of the fleet. While monitoring humanity, they interfere with human particle collision experiments to lock down scientific research on Earth. This also reveals the reason why many scientists in the opening could not find experimental laws and eventually chose to commit suicide. At the same time, it is also these protons that present the miracle of the ghost countdown in Wang Miao's visual network field. At this moment, at the International Conference on Decrypting Information, the protons that arrived on Earth again presented a miracle. All attendees saw the same words in front of them. "You are worms." The whole human world falls into despair. Wang Miao and Ding Yi drown their sorrows in alcohol. At this time, Shi Chang found them and drove them to a field of wheat. Here, they gaze at the field and see a swarm of locusts devouring the wheat. Everywhere, unstoppable. The two seem to understand Shi Chang's intention, which is to treat humans as worms. The three-body seem to have forgotten a fact, that worms have never been truly defeated. With that, the first part of the three-body novel has come to an end. In our next video, we will continue to give everyone a quick read of the second part of the novel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.